All right, so I wasn't going to do a video right now, but I figured maybe if I don't do it right now, it's going to take me a while to do it. So I'm just going to try to do this in one take. I just came back from a trip to Crested Butte here in Colorado. So this is the first time I've taken the Jeep out with the trailer, everything modified and everything else. And so I just want to do a quick touch base of some of the things that I discovered. So this is not going to take too long. So overall, I think it tows great with the Jeep. I think um, everything went well tow-wise. In the mountains, it's a little bit more difficult. So I actually put my own hitch system on my vehicle. It's a Mopo one, but my Jeep did not come with a hitch from the factory, so I had to put it in myself. So you can watch a video. I don't know if I've posted that, but anyways, I've got some material that I need to post on the video. But after you do the hitch, you're supposed to take it into the dealership so they can flash the computer, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm thinking that flash also helps change the gear shift points whenever you're pulling a trailer. So when I was pulling it, I found out that I had to change it into manual and just shift manually, because when it was in automatic, it was kind of struggling. So it was doing a lot of, so it was just struggling when I was pulling it in automatic, like it was holding a gear too long and the revs were going way too high. When I put it in manual, I was able to control it a little bit better. So M3 seemed to be the sweet spot when going up mountain grades, 8% or so. Sometimes maybe I'd shift it into M2, but not too often. And then the highest gear that I found I could drive in was M6, so manual 6. And I never really got above that. And if in a JL, there's actually 8 gears, so you go all the way up to M8. So I was using M6 as my maximum gear, and on that, I'm doing like, 70 miles an hour maximum, 72 maybe sometimes, but that's about the maximum that I was doing. Could you go faster? Maybe you could, but honestly, I err on the side of caution when I'm pulling a trailer, especially a new setup like that, and I'd just rather have it be something that's like a safe speed, a speed that I feel like I could stop safely if something was to happen. Could I go faster? Yes, but I don't really pull according to how fast I can go. I pull according to if I had to react to something, am I going to be able to stop? So anyways, let's see here. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the trailer itself. So if you're looking at this trailer, you can see there's not really a lot of room in here with these 235/75 R15 tires. So just not a lot of clearance. And I found that it was actually rubbing up in there whenever I would hit a bump at speed. So I'm going to have to look into changing, just giving it maybe a 2-inch lift or something like that, because I don't feel like I had it loaded up very much, but it was definitely causing some problems there. So I'm going to have to work on doing something about that, just to kind of give it a little bit more lift. Next thing was the hitch. Okay, so this does touch if you're at full lock, which in most circumstances you're not. Like this is almost at the jackknifing point. That's when this would touch over here, and I just have that's the kind of hitch system that I have, and I'll jump over to the other side so I can show you the model. So it's just a one mount, max load 14,000 pound winch. So just the standard. It's not super long, or it's not the extra long kind or anything like that. So that does work, but if you were doing some off-roading and some real tight turns or something like that, maybe it would touch, but honestly I didn't have a single problem with it like that. And I've got it in these whole configurations. I think I could lower it a little bit, just like one hole down. I felt like maybe the trailer wasn't quite level, so I feel like I could lower that a little bit and I would be better off for it. So that's the story there. Everything else performed good at the campground. I really like the awning. I think it's very intuitive the way it's set up. I'll have to do a separate video sometime just kind of showcasing that awning system, but I really like that, and I think that was a good setup. The bikes held on pretty good, so I like that. Overall impressions, good. So I towed fine. The Jeep didn't seem to struggle too much, especially in manual mode. And I think that's about everything I can think of right now, just on a general perspective of how everything went. I will have to do a more detailed video maybe sometime if I think of other things that I need to talk about. But for right now, went out there, crested Butte about 200 miles out, 200 miles back in, so 400 miles with this setup right here. Pulled well, and nothing I would change about that rig except for those two things that I talked about, or except for those few things that I talked about. Oh, one other thing. So I also did the batteries. So I've got two Battle-Born batteries, 100 amp hour each, and those batteries performed absolutely well because I'm down to 66%, and that's with regular use, right? So I didn't try to save batteries, conserve batteries. That's using the lights, gas sometimes to warm up the water and things like that, and all that stuff performed absolutely well. I had no problems with that at all. So I'm going to be doing another review that kind of just talks about the battery system and how that all worked out. But honestly, 62%. I had my solar panel with me thinking I would need it, but I didn't even need it. So with 200 amp hours, you can go out for a weekend. If I was going to go out for, I don't know, more than 5 days, I think I would start needing some a little bit of boost, which the solar panel helps with that. So I think that's about everything I have right now, so I'm going to end this. So one other thing I found pretty interesting with this setup is I've got the AUV 2.5 inch, I think it's a RT suspension system, and I thought I would have squat, but I really don't have squat at all. Like, my Jeep looks level when I'm towing, so absolutely impressed by that, because I was actually doing research on bags and everything else, thinking that when I start towing it's going to squat, but it didn't. I honestly think it was level. I'll have some pictures here and there that I'll post maybe that kind of show how it looks when it's all when it's towing with the trailer fully loaded for a camping trip. So again, super impressed by how that worked out, and I think that's a good setup. Hopefully this was helpful to somebody, and until then.